Imagine this: you're sitting across from an amazing woman, the kind of woman who has confidence that fills the room. She's older, sure, but that's part of what makes her so magnetic. You're drawn to her experience, her certainty, and the way she carries herself. Everything feels different from what you've known before, and that's exciting. But then, a thought crosses your mind. What's beneath the surface? Is dating an older woman everything it's cracked up to be? Or are there things you haven't considered? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of an age gap relationship. The newness, the intrigue. It can feel like stepping into a whole new world. And don't get us wrong, older women bring a lot to the table. But the truth is, dating someone who's lived a few more decades than you comes with its own set of challenges. We're not here to throw shade or point fingers, but to help you understand the realities of this kind of relationship. It's not just about romance. It's about navigating life with someone who may be at a very different stage. Let's be real. Dating an older woman isn't just about the thrill of being with someone wiser or more established. With age comes different perspectives, goals, and sometimes even baggage. What starts as an exciting adventure can quickly shift into something a lot more complicated. From differing long-term plans to dealing with societal judgment, there's more to the story than you might think. It's important to be aware of what you're getting into before making that kind of commitment. So, before you jump headfirst into this relationship, take a step back and listen. In this video, we're sharing 12 shocking truths about dating older women that might surprise you. These aren't just minor bumps in the road. Some of these truths could make or break the relationship. Stick around, because what we're about to reveal could change the way you approach this whole situation. Ready? Let's dive in. Number 1. Different life stages can cause tension. When you date someone older, you're entering a relationship where you might be in completely different phases of life. You might be focusing on building your career, traveling, or figuring out what you want in life while she's already established. The excitement of her success can be thrilling at first, but it can also create tension. Her priorities might center around stability, while you're still seeking new experiences. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of her maturity, but over time, those differences in life stages can create friction. As the relationship progresses, you may find that her focus on long-term security starts to feel like pressure. You may not be ready to settle down or make big life decisions, and this can lead to feelings of inadequacy or frustration. She may expect you to catch up to her level of maturity or experience, but that's not always possible. The difference in where you both are in life can make it hard to find common ground, and you may start to feel like you're on completely different paths. This tension can be especially hard to navigate if she has children or other commitments that require her time and attention. While you might want to explore the world together, she might have responsibilities that keep her grounded. This doesn't mean that dating an older woman is impossible, but it does require a lot of understanding and patience. If you're not willing to compromise or adapt to her lifestyle, the relationship could become a source of stress rather than joy. Ultimately, these differences in life stages can be a deal-breaker if not addressed early on. It's important to have honest conversations about where you both are in life and what you want from the relationship. If your goals don't align, it might be time to reconsider whether the relationship is truly what you want in the long term. Number 2. Her baggage may be heavier than you think. Everyone has baggage, but when you're dating an older woman, that baggage might be a little heavier than you anticipated. She's had more time to experience life, which often means more relationships, breakups, and possibly even a divorce. This doesn't make her any less desirable, but it does mean that she might come with some emotional scars. It's important to be prepared for the possibility that her past could impact your relationship in ways you didn't expect. For example, if she's been through a difficult breakup or divorce, she might have trust issues that take time to heal. You might find yourself constantly reassuring her, even if you haven't given her any reason to doubt you. While you may be patient and understanding, it can become exhausting over time. Her past experiences could make her more guarded or cautious, which might create distance in the relationship. It's essential to recognize that her baggage isn't your responsibility to fix, but it will affect your dynamic. In some cases, her previous relationships may influence how she views love and commitment. She might have different expectations for what a relationship should look like based on her past, and that could clash with your views. She's likely been through enough to know exactly what she wants, and what she doesn't want. So if you don't meet those expectations, it could lead to frustration on both sides. These unspoken expectations can create tension if you're not on the same page. It's important to approach her past with empathy and understanding, but also with clear boundaries. You shouldn't have to bear the weight of her emotional baggage alone. Open communication about past experiences and how they impact your relationship is crucial to navigating these challenges. If you're both willing to put in the effort, you can work through the baggage together. But if not, it could be a roadblock that's too big to overcome. Number 3, financial independence can create power imbalance. One of the most attractive qualities of dating an older woman is her financial independence. She's likely built a successful career and doesn't need to rely on anyone else for support. While this can be empowering and impressive, it can also lead to a subtle power imbalance in the relationship. If you're still working your way up the career ladder or aren't as financially stable, you might feel like you're not pulling your weight or contributing equally to the relationship. This power imbalance can manifest in different ways. For example, she might be used to a certain lifestyle that you can't afford to maintain. Dinners at expensive restaurants, trips to exotic locations, and other luxuries might be part of her routine, but they could stretch your budget. While it's exciting to experience these things with her, you might start to feel inadequate if you can't keep up financially. The last thing you want is to feel like you're in a relationship where you're constantly trying to prove your worth by spending money you don't have. On the flip side, her financial independence might also make her feel like she doesn't need a partner to share her life with. While she might enjoy your company, she's not relying on you for support or stability. This can lead to feelings of insecurity if you're used to relationships where both partners contribute equally to the household or lifestyle. You may start to wonder if she values you for who you are, or if you're just an accessory to her already established life. It's essential to communicate openly about finances and the role they play in your relationship. If you feel uncomfortable with the power dynamics, have an honest conversation about how you can find balance. While financial independence is a great thing, it shouldn't overshadow the emotional connection you share. If you can't find a way to navigate this power imbalance, it might be a sign that the relationship isn't built on the strongest foundation. Number 4, age-related health issues could become a concern. Dating an older woman means that you might need to face the reality of age-related health issues sooner than you'd expect. As people age, it's natural for health concerns to arise, and this can affect your relationship in unexpected ways. While she might be vibrant and full of energy now, health problems could become more frequent as time goes on. If you're not prepared to handle these challenges, it could put a strain on your relationship. It's not just physical health issues you need to consider. Mental health can also be a concern. As people age, they can become more prone to anxiety, depression, or other mental health challenges. While it's important to support your partner, it can be difficult to navigate these issues, especially if you're not familiar with them. If you're not ready to take on the emotional labor of supporting someone through health challenges, it could lead to frustration and burnout. Additionally, her health concerns might limit the things you can do together. If she's dealing with chronic pain or other conditions, she might not be able to engage in the same activities you enjoy. This can create a disconnect if your lifestyles become too different. You might find yourself wanting to do more adventurous or physically demanding things, while she needs to slow down and take care of her health. This doesn't mean the relationship is doomed, but it does require a lot of empathy and patience. In the end, age-related health issues are a reality that can't be ignored when dating an older woman. It's important to have open conversations about health and how it could impact your relationship in the future. If you're both committed to supporting each other through these challenges, the relationship can still thrive. However, if you're not ready to take on this responsibility, it might be worth reconsidering whether this is the right relationship for you. Number 5, societal judgments can be hard to handle. One of the biggest challenges of dating an older woman is dealing with societal judgments. Let's face it, people can be judgmental, and age gap relationships often come under scrutiny. Whether it's friends, family, or strangers, you might find yourself facing comments or criticisms about your relationship. This can be especially tough if you're someone who values the opinions of those around you. The side-eye glances or unsolicited advice might seem harmless at first, but over time, they can wear down your confidence in the relationship. It's important to realize that these judgments may come from people who don't understand your dynamic or who are stuck in traditional views of what a relationship should look like. Your love life may become a topic of conversation among people who think they know what's best for you. This could lead to uncomfortable situations where you feel like you have to constantly defend your relationship or explain why you're with her. If you're not prepared for this, it can create unnecessary stress and tension between you and your partner. Family dynamics can also be tricky. If your family is skeptical about the relationship, you might find yourself caught between the people you love and the person you're dating. It can be exhausting trying to get everyone on the same page, and sometimes that's simply not possible. Friends may also have their opinions, whether they're teasing you about dating someone older or expressing concern. Navigating these relationships while staying committed to your partner requires a lot of emotional maturity. In the end, it's up to you to decide if these societal pressures are something you're willing to endure. If you're confident in your relationship, it's easier to brush off the judgment and stay focused on what makes your connection special. However, if you're constantly swayed by outside opinions, it can create doubts and insecurities that weaken the bond between you and your partner. The key is being honest with yourself about how much these judgments affect you and whether your relationship is strong enough to withstand them. Number 6. Intimacy may feel different. Let's talk about intimacy, one of the most personal and sometimes challenging aspects of dating an older woman. Physical intimacy with someone older can feel different for a variety of reasons. While she may bring a wealth of experience and confidence to the bedroom, there might also be certain limitations that neither of you anticipated. Aging naturally affects the body, and that includes sexual health. If you're not prepared for these changes, it could impact your physical connection. For some, dating an older woman can mean dealing with a slower pace in the bedroom. As people age, their bodies don't always function the same way, and this can result in a less active sex life. While this isn't a deal breaker for everyone, it's something to consider if intimacy is an important part of your relationship. You may need to adapt and find new ways to connect physically, which requires patience and understanding from both partners. On the other hand, her experience can also be a major positive. She likely knows what she wants and is confident in communicating that, which can lead to a more fulfilling and mature sexual relationship. But there may still be times when the differences in energy levels or libido create tension. If your expectations aren't aligned, it could lead to feelings of frustration or dissatisfaction. It's crucial to have open, honest conversations about your needs and desires to avoid misunderstandings. Remember, physical intimacy is just one aspect of a relationship. While it's important, it's not the only way to maintain a strong connection. Emotional intimacy and trust can often deepen as physical intimacy evolves. If both partners are willing to adapt and communicate, these challenges can be overcome. However, if there's a significant disconnect in this area, it might become a source of strain that affects the overall health of the relationship. Number 7. She may have different long-term goals. When dating an older woman, it's likely that she's already thought a lot about her future. She may have long-term goals that are firmly established, and those goals might not align with yours. For example, she might be focused on retirement plans, financial stability, or even moving to a quieter lifestyle. Meanwhile, you might still be in a phase where you're building your career or seeking new adventures. These different priorities can create tension if you're not on the same page about where your lives are headed. One of the most common long-term goals that can cause friction is the question of children. If you're someone who still wants to have kids, this can be a significant issue, especially if she's past the age where having children is a possibility or if she's already raised children and isn't interested in doing it again. This can be a major deal breaker in a relationship, and it's something that needs to be discussed early on. If your visions for the future don't align, it's better to address it sooner rather than later. Beyond family planning, other lifestyle differences can arise. She may be looking for a quieter, more settled life, while you're still eager to explore new opportunities. She might want to invest in property, focus on savings, or prepare for retirement, while you're still thinking about traveling the world or switching careers. These differences in long-term goals can create a gap that's hard to bridge if both partners aren't willing to compromise. Ultimately, it's essential to have honest conversations about the future. If your long-term goals don't match, it's important to decide whether you can find common ground. Compromise is key, But if neither of you is willing to adjust your expectations, it could lead to resentment down the line. Be clear about what you both want from the relationship and whether those goals are compatible. Number 8. She might expect emotional maturity. One of the most attractive qualities of an older woman is her emotional maturity, but it also comes with expectations. She's likely been through enough relationships to know what she wants and what she won't tolerate. This means that she might expect a level of emotional intelligence and maturity that you're not used to. If you're not ready to handle deep conversations, complex emotions, or tough situations with grace, it could be a stumbling block in your relationship. Dating an older woman means you'll need to bring more to the table emotionally. She's not going to be interested in playing games or dealing with drama. If you tend to avoid conflict or struggle with communication, this relationship might challenge you in ways you didn't expect. She'll likely appreciate honesty, vulnerability, and the ability to navigate difficult conversations without getting defensive or shutting down. It's also important to recognize that her emotional maturity may come from a place of experience and sometimes pain. She's likely been through breakups, heartbreaks, and possibly even divorce, which have shaped her perspective on love and relationships. This means she'll be less tolerant of immaturity or emotional instability. If you're still figuring out how to manage your own emotions or avoid conflict, this relationship could feel overwhelming. However, if you're willing to grow and meet her emotional needs, dating an older woman can be incredibly rewarding. You'll likely learn a lot about yourself and develop emotional skills that will serve you in any relationship. But if you're not prepared for the level of emotional investment required, it could become a source of tension. Be honest with yourself about whether you're ready to meet her expectations in this area. Number 9, her social circle might feel intimidating. When dating an older woman, you might find yourself introduced to a social circle that feels a bit out of your comfort zone. Her friends, colleagues, and social connections are likely closer to her age, which means you'll be navigating conversations and events with people who have different interests and life experiences. While this can be a great opportunity to broaden your horizons, it can also be intimidating if you're not prepared for it. Her social circle might include successful professionals, established families, and people who are further along in their careers or personal lives than you. This can create a sense of imposter syndrome, where you feel like you don't quite belong or aren't measuring up to the people around you. It's easy to feel out of place in these situations, especially if the conversations revolve around topics that don't resonate with you. Her friends might discuss retirement plans, kids in college, or real estate investments, while you're still figuring out your next career move or planning your next vacation. The gap in life experience can make it hard to relate, and you might feel pressured to fit into her social world. While this can be a growth opportunity, it can also leave you feeling like you're constantly trying to keep up. If her friends don't accept you or see you as an outsider, that social tension can spill over into your relationship. On the other hand, her friends might fully embrace you, which can be both a blessing and a challenge. While it's great to be accepted, you may also feel a certain expectation to fit into their lifestyle. Social gatherings could become more formal or serious than you're used to, and the dynamic might be quite different from what you're comfortable with. If you're someone who thrives in casual, laid-back settings, her more mature social circle might feel like a lot to handle. Ultimately, it's about finding a balance. You don't have to become a different person to fit into her world, but it's important to be adaptable. If you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and engage with her friends, you might find that you can enrich each other's lives in new ways. However, if you constantly feel like you're struggling to belong, that social disconnect can put a strain on your relationship. Open communication with her about how you're feeling can help you navigate these situations more smoothly. Number 10. Differ views on fun and adventure. When it comes to how you spend your free time, you might find that you and your older partner have different ideas of fun and adventure. While you might be excited about hitting the latest music festival, going on spontaneous road trips, or staying out late with friends, she might prefer quieter, more relaxed activities. This difference in how you both enjoy life can lead to frustration if you're not willing to compromise. As people get older, their idea of fun tends to shift. She might enjoy a cozy night in with a glass of wine and a good book, or a peaceful weekend getaway, while you're still craving high-energy experiences. While there's nothing wrong with either approach, if you're not on the same page about how to spend your time together, it can create a divide. You might start feeling like you're missing out on the excitement, while she could feel pressured to keep up with your more active lifestyle. This isn't to say that older women can't be adventurous. Many are, but her definition of adventure might be different from yours. Instead of club hopping, she might want to explore a new city through its museums and fine dining. Instead of partying late into the night, she might prefer a scenic hike or a quiet evening with friends. If you're willing to embrace these differences, you might discover new ways to have fun together. However, if you feel like you're constantly sacrificing your idea of fun to accommodate hers, it could lead to resentment. Compromise is key. Find activities that you both enjoy and make time for each other's interests. Maybe she joins you for an occasional concert, and you enjoy a quiet dinner together. It's all about balance. If you can't find common ground in how you spend your time, it might become a source of tension that grows over time. Be honest about what you both want and be willing to meet in the middle. Number 11. Emotional independence can be surprising. One of the qualities that often attracts younger men to older women is their emotional independence. She's likely spent years learning how to take care of herself, build a career, and navigate life without relying on others. While this can be incredibly empowering, it can also come as a surprise if you're used to being in relationships where there's more emotional dependency. Her emotional self-sufficiency can sometimes feel like distance or disinterest, even when that's not the case. In many cases, older women don't need constant reassurance or emotional support the way younger partners might. This can feel refreshing at first. There's no need for constant validation or hand-holding. However, over time, you might start to feel like you're not needed in the same way. If you're someone who enjoys being the protector or provider in a relationship, her independence might make you question your role. You might find yourself wondering how you fit into her life, especially if she seems to handle everything on her own. On the flip side, her emotional independence could be exactly what you need. If you're someone who values your own space and doesn't want to be tied down by constant emotional demands, dating an older woman can feel liberating. She's likely to give you the freedom to pursue your own interests and won't demand all your time and attention. But if you're someone who needs a more emotionally involved partner, this independence might feel like a barrier to deeper intimacy. It's important to recognize that emotional independence doesn't mean she doesn't care. It's just that she's learned how to manage her own emotions and doesn't rely on a partner to make her feel complete. This can be a positive aspect of your relationship if you're both on the same page, but if you're looking for more emotional closeness, it could be a challenge. Be clear about your needs and find ways to connect emotionally without feeling like you're losing yourself in the process. Number 12. The relationship might have an expiration date. As much as you might want to believe that love conquers all, the reality is that relationships with significant age gaps often face an expiration date. This doesn't mean that the love isn't real or that the connection isn't meaningful, but it's important to acknowledge that the future can look very different for an older woman and a younger man. Life goals, energy levels, and physical aging can all play a role in determining how long the relationship will last. One of the most difficult aspects of dating an older woman is the possibility that, eventually, you'll be in different places physically and emotionally. As she continues to age, you might find that your interests and energy levels start to diverge. While you're still in your prime, she might begin to slow down, and that can lead to frustration if you're not prepared for it. This isn't a reflection of her value, but rather the natural progression of life. Additionally, long-term compatibility can become a concern. If you're looking for someone to grow old with, the reality of dating an older woman is that she's already ahead of you on that journey. This can create difficult conversations about the future. You might find yourself wanting different things as the years go by, and the relationship that once felt exciting and new might start to feel like a mismatch. It's important to be realistic about where the relationship is headed. If you're both willing to accept the natural changes that come with time, it can be a beautiful and meaningful relationship. But if you're not prepared for those changes, the relationship might start to feel like it has an expiration date. Be honest with yourself and with her about what you both want and where you see the relationship going. Dating an older woman can be an incredible experience, full of growth, learning, and connection. But it also comes with challenges that you might not face in a relationship with someone closer to your own age. From societal judgments to differences in life stages, these are real issues that can affect your relationship in ways you might not expect. The key is being honest with yourself and your partner about what you both want and whether you're willing to navigate these challenges together. At the end of the day, every relationship is unique. Dating an older woman might come with its own set of complexities, but if the connection is strong enough, it can be worth the effort. Just remember to stay open, communicate honestly, and be willing to adapt as the relationship evolves. And most importantly, make sure you're both on the same page about where things are headed, because love at any age deserves clarity and commitment. Thanks for watching. If you found these truths eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more insightful content like this. Let us know in the comments. Have you ever dated an older woman? What was your experience like? See you in the next video.